people make money off of that. I'm a very normal person and with a past like everyone else, and I'm a different person now. I don't do those outrageous things that I've done. Everyone's done outrageous things in their past, maybe even worse than some of the story times I've told.
Hello, and welcome to another Jan's Chats and Reacts. Now, those of you that know me, all 12 of you that are probably going to watch this will know that I've got this rule that I cannot react to a certain someone because they make my stomach twirl, curt, whatever. You know what I'm trying to say.
Thank you.
But in this instance, I've decided to break my own rule because tonight we're going to be looking at Mr. Snowflake's documentary on Foodie. Ugh. I can just about call her Foodie. I can't call her Foodie Beauty because that's a bit like an oxymoron in my opinion. So anyway, I'm not going to ramble. What I'm going to do is basically just show some of this documentary and then slot in the expected outrage, outburst, whatever that she put forward. So I'm going to be doing a bit of editing here, guys. Let's hope that more than 20 people bother to look at it and recognize what it is to actually edit. So let's go. Let's get on with this. Stop talking, Jan, and let's just see the very beginning. I'm not going to be playing a lot of it because this man deserves to have people come to his channel and not come to this channel that nobody bothers watching. So anyway, here we have Mr. Snowflake. This is Mr. Snowflake himself, and this is how he started this video documentary that's called The Shattered Reality of Foodie Beauty, episode 1. Okay, let's get on with it, guys.
But I thought I'll come back to it one day, maybe when I finish shaping the algorithm, which I've done now.
Okay, now although he is English, he's a northerner, guys, so yeah, you can be forgiven for not fully understanding what he says. Do you know, it's like, you know, I've said before, you know, us southerners, us southern English people, I'm not English, British people, we speak more of the Queen's English. Those up north tend not to. So we've got Mr. Snowflake with his adorable Geordie accent, and also his friend Mr. Jimmy Bunker, who I don't know why, I don't know what it is. He makes me laugh, guys. There's something cheeky. And I know, see, as a Brit, I recognize certain types of people. I know that Mr. Snowflake is a cheeky little so-and-so. I know he is, as is his friend Jimmy. But anyway, we're going off. We're going off. Get on with it, Jan. Stop rambling.
So I thought, okay, we'll finally do Foodie. There's been lots of people giving me advice on this series. One person said, Amber is the hill to get to the mountain that is Foodie Beauty, which I quite liked.
I like that too. That's really good. See, the thing is, step outside of Girl World, and there are some intelligent people out there, you know? And, you know, these two cheeky lads, they're very intelligent. I know that as well. Even though he wears his cardie from from Primark, I know he's an intelligent guy. He's a thinker. He's a caring man. I like that. Anyway, let's carry on.
Thank you.
And everybody was telling me that she's crazier than Amber, gets crazier than Amber. And I thought, nah, I've seen the Amberverse. I've seen how she mistreats her pets, her partners, everybody. All the lies. It won't get worse than that. It won't get worse than that world. And if you're like me, or I was a month ago, and you think, nah, there's no way it's going to get worse than the Amberverse.
What else? Oh yeah, the cheese graveyard.
What can happen that makes it crazier? Well,
well, yes, well indeed.
Oh, they're not from my mouth. My story times, yeah, sure. But so what? How does my story times make me a bad person? That I had to use the washroom and there was nothing to clean up with.
Lying whispers in your ear. You're the reason reason daddy's not here. Liar, liar tells you that success comes to those who never stop to rest. Liar.
Do you know, this is such a perfect song to go with it. And what I actually like is that I remember seeing somewhere, or he said that it took him a long, long time to find the exact piece of music that would work with this particular someone. And yeah, he found it. Big applause to you, Mr. Snowflake. You found it. You did good, man. This is perfect.
Attention will meet your needs. Oh, look out for the lies. They're wearing their disguise, promising you.
Do you know, I edit my videos, but I edit them in a sort of airy-fairy kind of way, and in a way that some people may not realise I've edited them. I am not in these guys' league. I am not in their league. But that gives me something to aspire to. It's a bit like, I'm an artist and I love to see a fantastic piece of art and then to scrutinize it and to possibly think, oh, what was the artist thinking? Not necessarily, because as an artist, what I produce, other people don't always recognize what I was trying to say in it. So, yeah, I'm rambling. But what I will say is this intro is mind-boggling to me. I love it. I love the way they put the music over it. I love the dynamics of it. Yeah. What can I say? Me and Asker the cat, we love it, don't we, girl? Anyway, so let's carry on. I wasn't going to play the whole thing, but why not? Brilliant. And if you look, it says edited by Mr. Snowflake. Brilliant. Brilliant graphic. Right, so that's it. 7 minutes in, and all I've done is hero worship the intro, but that's because I like it. Anyway, so let's get back to the matter in hand. Mr. Snowflake did a premiere that had, I think I'm right in saying, nearly 7,000 people in there. Now, good for him. I'm so pleased for him. Yay! Well done, man. You deserve it. Right, now, you are going to get people that are going to say, oh, it's because they're haters. They all hate the same person.
So how am I being disrespectful? You're listening to a literal hater.
No, just zip it, all right? You don't know what you're talking about. Anyway. Right, there's one up here where she's in that god-awful wig. Where is it? Bear with, guys. Oh, come on, Jan. Come on. Right, this bit here.
Are you sick of having issues with your webinars, wasting tons of time on troubleshooting with attendees? If so,
let me tell you.
Also went on to say,
let me tell you, Dana is the bane of my life. Honestly, if I ever see her out and about, she better run. Run for the hills, Dana. I'm done with you. Interrupting all my videos. So annoying. Anyway.
Don't assume she struggled because she's overweight. Chantal was part of the main clique in high school. She was never bullied, but did sleep with almost every boyfriend her friends had. Her mother, Kim, worked for Red Cross with the disabled, and Chantal would mock and make fun of them.
Do you know, that doesn't surprise me. That's the kind of person she is. But listen, this video isn't just to give my opinion on this despicable person. It's more to sort of try and just to see what kind of response she gives to some of these accusations. In fact, Are they accusations? This person here in particular, I don't know whether they've actually been in touch with Mr. Snowflake. I should imagine so. So I can't imagine that he'd put anything up that wasn't verified. Now, I'm now going to slot together some parts that will relate to this, guys. God, I hope this is going to work. If it doesn't work, it's just going to be a complete mishmash. And all the 20 people that watch it are going to be like, what?
I said I didn't think that she should be in, raising children because of her level of morality. Imagine sitting around being a hateful harasser and your kids are privy to this. Same thing with some of the reaction channels, saying the most disgusting things, fat shaming the same fat women online and raising children. What kind of children are you going to raise? Bullies. Hello.
Anyway, I'm going to try my best. So let's find. There we go. There we go. All right. Yes.
Because I was eating cheese on Halloween, a cheese graveyard, and I wasn't disrespectful. I was talking very calmly. I didn't say, haha, those people are dead. Did I say that? No, I didn't.
So I didn't see this video before I've watched Mr. Snowflake's video, but what I will say is I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at the psychotic behavior of this blob. I'm just not surprised. But anyway, I'll let him speak and then I'll play her response to it. Yeah, see that I have got a plan, guys, but I'm not sure if it's actually going to work. But hey, here we go.
And that's the main focus. And I don't get it. You're spending your life, I'm talking to you now, Foodie, Mariam. You're spending your life raging at channels and you're going to be dead soon? And you are.
I wasn't expecting that. I was supping away on my Pepsi here and I wasn't expecting that. So yeah, sorry, I'm laughing now. Anyway, he's going to move on to something that I hadn't seen before, which apparently she entitled the, what's it? The cheese graveyard?
Like, it's so stupid. Number two, like, I showed dead bodies they were covered in a sheet. I was showing the Nikes. And I'm sorry, but those people were part of a cult where that was what they wanted to do. So, I mean, something that happened so many years ago. I'm sorry, but I don't think it's too soon to talk about that.
Yeah. Okay, bring it, Mr. Snowflake.
So I don't get it. Why not focus on, well, why am I giving you advice? As if you're going to listen. More fool me, what am I doing?
Here we go.
We've seen her be pretty terrible to everybody in her life. We've seen her be rude to her audience and mean, spoiled, all that. We've seen it be horrible and our audience didn't like it and reaction channels didn't like it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the biggest scandal at this time was the cheese graveyard.
Not a very firm cheese like I thought it was. So I'm just using it to make bricks. So no crosses, unfortunately, but my coffin turned out pretty well. BB helped me sculpt that.
In the video, she's talking about the Heaven's Gate cult. Obviously, people died. Pretty serious subject. She's since deleted the video. Thankfully, people have saved it. So thank you for that. I know plenty of people were angry with this one. And I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed, Foodie. No, I'm not angry, I'm just bad.
I'm kind of suspecting, because I worked in education for 8 years, I wouldn't be surprised if this young man hasn't also worked in education, because that's the sort of thing we say, you know. Yeah, no, I'm not cross with you, young man. I'm disappointed. I'm very disappointed in what you've just said or what you've just done. Yeah, just a thought. Anyway, carry on. Carry on, Mr. Snowflake.
Baffled. I am. I'm just genuinely confused by the whole thing. I don't get it. I don't get what the tone of the video is meant to be. Like, I don't get is it meant to be like a fun, hey guys, I'm doing a vlog and come join me and Pete's next week. We're going to whatever.
Thursday, Pete and I are going to the Pumpkin Inferno. I know.
See, I did warn you about the wig. I mean, it looks like she's gonna... Maybe she's borrowing one of Huss's. I mean, that's the sort of wig he wears. Anyway, we're not talking about that slob, are we? Anyway, from one slob to another, here we go.
Yeah, it was a lot of cheese, but come on, whatever. Like, again, going over things that were so long ago. Like, what the heck? People are allowed to change. People are allowed to be different. Saying that I treat everyone in my life poorly, like who?
I know a lot of you liked that vlog, so stay tuned.
Or is it meant to be lots of people died and like what am I watching? I didn't like how she kept talking about this really horrible, serious, upsetting thing for a lot of people, and then would pause to just...
This cult is called Heaven's Gate. It was founded in 1974. The cult leader is named Marshall Applewhite. So his name is Marshall.
Like, are you telling me the story so that I'm invested, or am I just listening to you chew cheese? What's the video? She would have this slight sad tone on, which you would talk about this. You'd have a sad... Well, she had a sad tone, and then would immediately jump to cheese.
Now you might hear mass suicide and think, oh, that's horrible. But for these people who were manipulated, they believed that that was the only way for them to reach this level of transcendence. And they called it the next level. They were confined in their bodies. And
see, it's that bit right there. That is the bit that this heifer does not realise. It's the total disregard for what she's talking about. So does that mean that she's just talking? She's a bit like other creators that I cover that just, use her vocal cords and it doesn't matter what's actually coming out. It's like verbal diarrhea. So is it that with her, or is it a sign of psychopathy? Because sociopaths do not feel the way other people feel. They don't feel empathy. And by munching through this enormous amount of cheese just shows a total lack of empathy, a total lack of response, not response, but response. What response is she showing to these people? And, the way that she just brushes off the fact, oh, well, they're all adults, so they knew what they were doing. I think that's what she's saying. They knew what they were doing. And, so... Yeah, they just knew what they were doing. They chose that. What? I mean, honestly, I'm not here to lecture. I'm not here to lecture that blob anyway. It's just pointless. But it's the total disregard for everything apart from what's about to go in her mouth. Yeah, okay.
the Leicester cheese tastes like an aged cheddar. Brie, if you've never had it, is really creamy and delicious. So
I have to say also, there's another time when she showed exactly the same behaviour, very concerning behaviour, was when there was a school shooting, and she was doing a dance or something to it. I saw it somewhere fairly recently. I don't know if Mr. Snowman covered it, and she was doing this dance and doing pew pew with her fingers, and it's like, what? I mean, this is why I can't cover her, guys. I cannot, because not only does she do my head in, but she triggers me on so many levels. I'll be honest.
Then they put plastic bags and purple shrouds over their heads and died in their bunk beds.
I'll have one more piece. I cut out a certain amount of pieces I wanted to eat. Yeah. This is really good bread. It's from Artisan Bakery. Art is in artisan. Play on words.
She also got a bit of stick for showing dead bodies, which I've edited out.
Thank you.
Thanks for that, Foodie. That was a laugh editing. it was just a strange one. It was just, here's some dead bodies, here's a piece of cheese.
And I think what really stood out, besides the mass suicide, was the pictures of the bodies that are online. So I'll show you a picture. They're all wearing the same Nikes. And you can buy these Nikes. They're expensive on like eBay.
Honestly, I shouldn't be reacting to this. I just wanted to play what Mr. Snowflake played. But, you know, I've spoken many times about the fact that I'm an empath and the pain I go through being an empath, how it affects me mentally. And I wish I wasn't. You know, people laugh about it and use it very loosely. But if, like me, it can affect your mental stability, if you like, or your mental well-being. Having such a empathetic way of thinking about other people, it's just really hard to watch somebody like this. It's very, very hard for me to watch this without like being triggered and blowing a fuse. Nobody wants that.
I really like this pumpkin spice cheese, actually. It's pretty good.
I'm not angry. I just think she's a terrible YouTuber. I think she's a lol cow, not a YouTuber.
Facts.
But yeah, she didn't treat the subject with any respect. So I understand people being angry at it, and people were. It even made its way to BuzzFeed, and the showed a Michael B. Petty tweet where he says, flashing pictures of dead bodies on the screen while you stuff your face talking about the price of Nikes. This is low even for Chantal. Someone says, maybe that's why they wore the same shoes. Nike, just do it. Foodie says, okay, that was a good one, lol. And Michael B. Petty says, you realize you're joking about the suicide of 39 people, right? Now, I'm not somebody who gets offended by jokes, offensive jokes or inappropriate jokes, because the majority of the time when you hear a joke like that, the understanding is that both parties aren't really like that. The person telling the joke doesn't believe what they're saying, and the person listening to the joke doesn't believe what they're saying. And the joke is, haha, can you imagine if we were actually like that? Of course we're not like that. Great, fine. It's like Michael Scott says on The Office. He says, what does he say? There's no such thing as an appropriate joke. That's why it's called a joke.
Do you know, I've always struggled a bit with that, because there are instances where I think you can't really joke about things, and you shouldn't really joke about things. Like in my opinion, you shouldn't joke about suicide or child abuse or, you know, people dying or whatever. But that's my way of thinking, and I realise that I don't think the same as everybody else. You know, we all think very differently.
The things that he's saying make me a horrible person are things that haters went over a million times that are not like the cheese graveyard. That was so long ago. And no, I'm sorry. I don't regret that. I don't regret that at all, because I wasn't trying to be disrespectful. I'm telling a story about a dumb cult who did some really dumb things. And to me, I thought it was ridiculous. Like, you know, and I was just pointing out the story. I wasn't saying, oh my gosh, it's so funny they're dead, you know? People do true crime and mukbangs all the time. Like, but because it's me, I get singled out. Don't even deny it.
But anyway, I think what we're going to do is just the reason I also wanted to. Okay, we can carry on a little bit more with this. Hang on.
However, because I've researched Foodie quite a lot, and I don't think she's a good person, and I don't think she has any genuine empathy for the people who died, it feels uncomfortable when she makes a joke about it or laughs about it.
Unfortunately, your words and actions, no, Tiny Puff, no. It's the lies being told and the twisting and the outrage, because people make money off of that.
Because I think if somebody was to make a joke about it, it was kind, it was nice, I'd get that it's a joke and that they've got genuine empathy, and of course it's not funny. But when Foodie does it, I don't know. I don't think she's a nice person. So does she have any empathy for it? Does she think it's actually horrible? Or is she just stuffing her face with cheese? I don't know. because the video is just crap.
I think that's exactly it. And I think if you were to study it, I think it leans towards her being psychotic. And, you know, in this part of the internet, well, everywhere really, people say, oh, you shouldn't diagnose people, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. But when something is so blatant, it's difficult not to speak on it, you know, especially when you have got a bit of knowledge about mental health and the way people act.
I don't hate her enough to make videos about her forever. I'll make this little series and then I'll move on with my life and never think about her again.
I think that's the best thing to do. And that's, you know, once again, why I would never choose to do any parody videos or even real responses to her or reactions, because in my eyes, she's just too evil. She's just too disturbing for me. I can't, you know, as the type of person I am, I just cannot do it. I can't see any humour there. I would highly recommend it to you. He's not a hater, as Foodie is going to say. He's a hater. He's not a hater. He's got a good following on YouTube and does very, very good documentaries. I think is a sensible, caring kind of guy, but he's also very clever. And he's also a bit of a lad, as we would say over here. He's a bit of a lad, and I like that. So you carry on, Mr. Snowflake. You carry on doing what you're doing and expose these people for who they are, even though they're going to scream from the highest height that you're just a hater. You're just another hater. So I'm going to finish here. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope I can manage to fit everything together and it's kind of sort of palatable. If not, I should just hang my head in shame and just continue to do what I do. So you just take care of yourselves out there, because sadly, it's a rotten old world. So until the next one, bye-bye for now.
Thank you.